Why did my dad cry when I called him by his first name instead of dad? I was standing in the doorway listening to my parents argue when my aunt looked directly at me and said, "Here comes the bastard." 23 years old, and I'd finally learned why I was the only kid who stayed home during Disney trips. My siblings got PlayStation 5s for Christmas. I got socks. They went to Hawaii, Paris, the Grand Canyon. I stayed with my grandfather who made me sleep in the garage because the guest room is for real family. What did you just call me? I asked my Aunt Patricia. My father, Richard, stood up quickly. Patricia, that's enough. No, let him know. She was drunk on wine and truth. 23 years of pretending this kid is yours when everyone knows. Everyone knows what? My voice was shaking. My mother started crying. Richard wouldn't look at me. Patricia smiled like she'd been waiting decades for this moment. You're not his son. Never were. Your mother was already pregnant when they met. The room tilted. I looked at Richard, the man who'd raised me but never loved me. Is that true? His silence was louder than any confession. I walked out, went to my room, and sat on my bed surrounded by trophies from games he never attended. Academic awards he never acknowledged. Father's Day cards I'd made that probably went straight to the trash. The next morning, Richard tried to talk to me before work. Son, we need to. My shift starts at 8, Richard. His face crumpled like I'd punched him. Richard, I'm your dad. No, you're my mother's husband. He actually staggered backward. This man who'd never hugged me, never said he loved me, never once called me son with any warmth, he looked devastated. That evening, my mother came to my room, the first time she'd entered in years. You're hurting him. Good. He raised you. He housed me. There's a difference. I pulled out my phone, showing her photos from my cousin's Facebook. Look, every family vacation. Count the kids. 3. Always 3. Never 4. She tried to explain how Richard had tried, but his family never accepted me. How my biological father ran when she got pregnant at 19. How Richard married her anyway. So I should be grateful, I asked. Grateful he let me live here while treating me like a ghost? He's realized his mistake. He wants to make it right. 23 years too late. The next day, Richard did something unprecedented. He came to my room. He stood there staring at my football trophies like he'd never seen them before. You played varsity? He picked up the MVP award from senior year. 4 years. Captain for 2. I never knew. You never asked. He saw my college diploma, summa cum laude, the scholarship letters I'd kept, the Father's Day card on my desk that I'd bought but never sent, for the biological father I'd never met but sometimes imagined was looking for me. I wasted it, he whispered. I wasted everything. Yeah, you did. He started crying. This man who'd never shown emotion beyond anger was sobbing in my doorway. When Patricia said those things, seeing your face, I realized I'd been punishing you for something that wasn't your fault. Your family made me sleep outside when I stayed with them during your vacations. Did you know that? Your brother would lock me out after sending me to the store, then eat dinner without me. His crying got worse. I didn't. They said you were difficult. I was 8. He collapsed on my desk chair. Your mother told me last night that you're planning to move, to disappear. I'd already applied for jobs across the country, already started packing. Nothing keeping me here. Please. He grabbed my hand. First physical contact in years. Let me fix this. Let me try. It's not fixable, Richard. Don't call me that, please. Even if I don't deserve it, please don't call me Richard. I looked at this broken man who'd broken me first. You want me to call you dad? Earn it. That was 6 months ago. He shows up to everything now. Drove 5 hours to watch me graduate from my master's program. Tells everyone about his son with a pride that feels foreign. Stopped speaking to Patricia entirely when she refused to apologize. But every family photo from my childhood is still missing someone. 23 years of empty spaces can't be filled by 6 months of trying. My siblings don't understand why I'm angry. Dad's always been good to us, they say. Yeah, that's the problem. Last week, Richard asked if I'd consider changing my last name to his officially. You were always supposed to be my son. Was I asked. Or am I just now convenient to claim? He had no answer. There isn't one. I still live at home, but I call him Richard more often than Dad. Each time he flinches like I've slapped him. Good. Now he knows how I felt every Christmas morning, every empty birthday, every family photo I wasn't in. Some wounds don't heal. They just scar over, visible forever. A reminder of what should have been but never was.